Hello, Andrew with ConvertMore.com here, and that's ConvertMore with a K, ConvertMore.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and get the updates. So I was going to talk in this video about the top 10 reasons why your Facebook ads for your e-commerce store, your lead generation page, are missing the mark and really just failing flat. I've spent probably about $175,000 in 2016 on Facebook advertising alone. So, these are probably the top 10 reasons for me that I pretty much vouch for and say are reasons why an ad wouldn't do well. I'm sure everybody has their own opinion, and what works for one person doesn't always necessarily work for another. But these are the pretty much the top 10 ones for me. Number one, I'd probably say the page that you're sending your traffic to, it doesn't convert well. It's a bad page basically. So if you have an ad, you're sending traffic to it, and the page itself is just poorly designed. It's not capturing any of their information. It's not even relevant to the topic that they're clicking on for the ad. That's probably one of those ones that I'd say is a bad website, and would probably be your number one reason as to why your ads or your leads, they're not converting. The leads themselves, number two, is that they lack the ads themselves. They lack appeal. So when people are scrolling on Facebook and you've got like a second or two to capture their attention, you want to make something that's engaging, and you want to put something out there that somebody would maybe take a second glance at. If you're just using stock images and throwing text on it, you're not going to be doing probably too well with your ads, and that's one way that they really lack appeal. You want to make it appealing to your demographic, and if you don't know your demographic, then you might want to pump the brakes on doing advertising and start to understand and learn who your ads are going to start being displayed to. Number three, your ads don't correspond to the website they're directed to or to the lead page. So if they're not going to correspond to whatever it is you're advertising, it's almost pointless. Why are you going to say, hey, buy these shoes, and then you send them to a page, and now all of a sudden they're being asked for their information because you might be interested in a home in your zip code. It just doesn't make sense. So you want to make your ads make sense with what they're correlating to. Don't have an ad that boasts something and then the person gets to your website and then it's totally something different. Make them correlate so that it's similar on both sides, both on Facebook and on your website. I'd probably say the fourth one is that you're targeting the wrong audience with your Facebook ads. So you don't want to be targeting people who aren't going to buy something from you, or you're not going to get the illicit reaction from whatever it is that you're putting out there. So basically, if you're advertising to someone who's 20 to 30 years old, you don't want to advertise to people who are 18 to 65 and with the shotgun approach. I think this is pretty self-explanatory, but you want to narrow down your demographics, and if you don't know who your demographics are, you better pump the brakes and figure out who they are so that you can get your ads better catered to who they're supposed to be delivered to. Which leads me to number five, your audience. It's either too broad or too narrow. Facebook has a little meter whenever you're setting up your ads. It'll tell you whether or not it's it's too broad of an audience or it's too narrow. If it's too narrow, that means if it's really narrow, that means that your cost per click is going to probably be pretty high, and Facebook's going to deliver your ads to specifically who you're wanting them targeted to. But if there's any kind of irrelevancy to your ad and the people you're getting it delivered to, hopefully you're not going to be spending a ton of money with ads that are just missing the mark. And then with broad ads, broad audiences, it's just, that's the shotgun approach. That's pretty self-explanatory in itself. You want your meter to pretty much stay right in the middle as a pretty clearly defined audience. So not too broad and then not too narrow. So somewhere in the middle so that your meter is going to be straight up in the middle on the ads that you're doing. I'd probably say number six is you're not testing your ads, you're not split testing them. So that's a big one. So if you're gonna have an ad done and you're getting your graphic created make sure that you get maybe like 4, 6 of the same graphic but with different color palettes done. So this way you can run your ads and you can do them for 3 or 5 days. And then after that point in time, you can go back to the drawing board and say, okay, which of these 3 to 5 ads got the lowest cost per click? If you're tracking more through Google Analytics, you can probably tell the conversion rates, but you want to see which one has the lowest cost per click. And so go with the color scheme of the graphics. It might be 1 or 2 that has the lowest cost per click, and then just kill the other ads, and then put those ad spend back into the 2 that are performing well, and that'll help you save money on the advertising front. Number 7, I'd probably say your Facebook page doesn't have that much activity on it. It doesn't have a ton of updates or just even relevant content on it. You want to make sure your pages are updated. It's got good information on it so that when people do see your ad and they click on your Facebook page instead of your actual advertisement, and then they go to your page, they see that you're updating it on a regular basis and you're practicing what you preach, basically. They want to see people who are on their, at least on a weekly basis and are updating their page if they're going to be interacting with you. I'd say number 8 would probably be that the image that you're advertising with is bad. And again, that's self-explanatory. If you're using stock photos with just photo or Microsoft Paint writing on top of it, it's probably going to not even pass Facebook's text to image ratio. But if it does, it's probably not going to look too good. So just go to like Fiverr.com, peopleperhour.com. You can probably even go to Upwork.com and just get somebody who's going to be dedicated to doing your graphics for you, so that you can just pay somebody $5 to $25. You can get it done right, and you can get it done by somebody who knows what they're doing, and not just you trying to do something to save money. There's ways to save money, and then there's ways that you're just being cheap. And you definitely don't want to be going cheap about certain aspects of your e-commerce business. You want to make your e-commerce business look as good and as reputable as possible, because if there's no trust there and nobody wants to trust in your images and your branding and your marketing, then you're just going to be facing an uphill battle from there. So number 9, I would say that your ad copy is bad on your actual ad that you created on Facebook. So you might have everything on there great with your image, your targeting, but then when it comes to what you're saying in the top above the graphic, and that would be like the text box on Facebook, when you're entering in your information on the final step of creating your ad, you want to keep it short and sweet. I believe WordStream, if you Google WordStream Facebook ad best practices, something like that, you'll find a pretty good amount of material that's out there on the information that WordStream has compiled and analyzed through their software. But I believe they say it's like 12 to 15 words or something like that. Keep your ad to that at least. Sometimes I see these Shopify guru people that or not even Shopify guru people, just e-commerce, just everybody's selling something. It seems like everybody's a guru, and I'm sure you'd say that with seeing this video and seeing me doing it, but I see it on all the time where it's just like a paragraph of words of why you should contact them or read. It's just too much. Like, you might have some interest in who this person is, but there comes to be a point where that person's targeting you because you've displayed characteristics of somebody who might be a e-commerce owner or somebody who's an entrepreneur. And if that ad is targeting you, then you better believe that there's others that are targeting you, and there are, which is why I'll be scrolling through a newsfeed and I've got one that says, paragraph after paragraph, and then, click my ad for a free webinar, scroll down more, paragraph on paragraph, click here for tickets to my next event, and it's just, it's way too much. Short and sweet, especially if you're selling a product or a digital service. You keep it as short and sweet. Get their attention. Push them to your squeeze page. Push them to your e-commerce page, and get them on the right path to buying or filling out a lead form. You don't want to be doing the wholesale right on Facebook in somebody's ad. It's just it's not good. It doesn't look good, and I bet they're probably paying a lot on their ads as well. Which leads me to number 10. You're more than likely going to be failing flat if you're pulling the plug on your Facebook ads way too fast. You got to let your ads run for a little bit. You know, you've set your target demographic the best you know how, and even when you set it, you know, sometimes you feel like you've done everything perfect, and it's still not. And you're getting a high cost per click rate, and you're in forums, you're online, you're reading and researching about how other people in your same situation, they're getting clicks for like a penny, and you're paying like $1.40 a click, and you're over here scratching your head, how do I figure this out? I targeted my demographic, my audience, I thought I did everything perfectly. And this is just one of these things where it literally takes time. It takes, unless you've done it before for an agency and then you move into your own personal role with your own business, it takes a lot of money being spent. You'll burn through a lot of money trying to figure out what works, what doesn't, and then applying those principles on what works to your future ads. I mean, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You'll spend a decent amount of money trying to figure it out. So the meat and potatoes of what you're trying to get done initially is just get your ads as low costing as possible, so you can start turning some revenue, so you can start getting some sales or some leads. That way you can offset those expenses. But if your ads are just crazy expensive, you're not getting any leads, it's an uphill battle from there. So that's what I'd probably say on the top 10 for why your Facebook ads aren't converting well. So we've got number 1 was the quality of your ad is just not good. Number 2, your ad seriously lacks appeal. Number 3, your ad's offer doesn't really correspond to the website that they're being directed to. Number 4 is you're targeting the wrong audience. Number 5, your audience is too broad or too narrow. Number 6, you're not split testing your ads enough on your graphics. Number 7 is your Facebook page lacks activity. Number 7 is the image that you're using is just a bad image. It's not great. You know, don't use those stock images on those. Number 8 is your ad copy is very bad. Number 9 is I believe number 9. I'm trying to remember. Number 10 was you're pulling the plug too fast. I don't know. Go back to the video and rewind on what I had said, because this video is probably like 15 minutes long, and I can't exactly remember what the 9th one I had mentioned was. Either way, follow some of those tips in creating your ads. You can apply some of those same principles to Instagram in your Instagram ads as well, since those are going to be, you know, you're going to have the option to target Instagram as well upon your ad placement whenever you're creating the ads. Make sure to follow YouTube and go to convertmore.com, and that's convertmore with a K. Thank you for staying in this long video. Sorry it was so long. I try and keep the videos to at least like 4, 5, 6 minutes, but I just wanted to go through this one and be a little bit more thorough. Thanks.